Hi, it's Logan and Richard with Greyman Racing here. This video will be a continuation of our YSR project. It's going to be a teardown. We're looking for additional damages we may not have seen. We'll be removing and draining the fuel tank, probably inspecting and changing the air filter. Depending on where we get today, we may inspect the reed valves and see if they need replacement along with the reed stays or performance upgrades. And now we tear the bike down. So, it looks like somebody wisely zip-tied the ceiling light wire to the upper upright frame. So we're going to go ahead and trim that off. There is factory cable stays in here, which would have been wiser to use, but I can understand if you're going to play this on a track. It looks like this has had some track time. I can understand, securing a little bit more robustly. Now, should you do an upgrade on your same YSR or anything like that, I'd recommend keeping the factory signal lights because, like I said in the first video, it's a 6-volt system. So having a backup to the JDM lights in case is never a bad thing. So I'm just going to bring this over here. As you can see in the front fairing, this area here is cracked and pulled out. I don't know if it happened before I got the bike or after the bike fell down on my own watch. That'd be my mistake. We're going to attempt to fiberglass and fix this as best we can rather than replace it because we do have the fiberglass materials and I don't have the funds to replace it. So that's our biggest crack.
Well, what we got to do is get it cleaned up, take the decals off of it, take the headlight out, take the windshield off, and then do a better inspection of it to see how we can fiberglass and fix this up.
I'm thinking fiberglass and then maybe a metal piece that will fiberglass in between multiple layers.
No, you shouldn't have to do that. Once you pop that back in place, it should just be a matter of one little sheet, yay big, hardened, done.
I might do 2 just for reinforcement, in case I drop it again.
No, don't drop it.
Yeah, I know, don't drop it. Here, do you want to take 2 seconds and take the headlight out? I'll hold it, and you just undo the screws on the mount. These 2 screws right there. So, I was experiencing signal light issues with it, and I figured it was just a flasher. And it turns out that, as you can see, one of the wires was completely out of the 6-volt signal system. So we'll have to look at that. The other thing we're going to have to look at is installing that on the next set of signals.
What's that?
That's the lock point, so they don't rotate.
Yeah.
But I think the other ones actually have a doodad.
A doodad? Is that the technical term?
Yep. Also, that's why yours broke. The locking device was in backwards. Something I should show you right here. I don't know if you can see very well. See how this locking device is into the little groove actually in the signal light? You probably can't see. Well, look at my fingers. There's a little groove right here. The one on the side that was broke, you can see the locking tab is actually up, reversed. So it's up. It's probably why it cracked the fairing. So, along the way, we were concerned with this plate. And because it's actually 2-piece, I don't know if you can see a mold line or right here, it splits in half. We were concerned this metal plate was actually riveted to the seat, but it turns out we got lucky. There's 4 bolts, one here, and 2 down here, as well as there's 2 bolts here that hold on the rear piece, and there's actually something officially called a nut pad. It looks like this. That this little here, and it mounts like this, so when you're on the seat, you're not running back and forth. So, we were slightly concerned of cracking, but it turns out it's just mold seams here and here, so that's good.
So here's another problem with the signal lights.
They're not hooked up, or they're dirty.
Barely hooked up.
Link problems?
Well, I just basically touched it, disconnected on its own. So it seems like the wiring was just too short. It just sits. So,
Too short or just...
no, because it was in here, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you touched it, it fell apart.
Okay.
Which basically tells me that it wasn't connected properly. So black to black.
Woo! Hey, part number. So, that's how big your battery is in a 6-volt system. This is the North American standard for signal lights. I took it off or I'm changing it for appearance reasons, and because these stick out so far, every time you brush by, you bang it, you bang it, you bang it. You eventually bust these off, as you can see in most 70s and 80s bikes. They eventually changed to aluminum ones, or you see guys that have changed them to dirt bike flexi ones, even on street bikes, because the constant brushing before they got into reality of, hey, maybe we should mold this as part of the molding plastic, and that way we can gouge them more when we sell them replacement parts. Or more reality, that's, less likely to get damaged. Like I mentioned before, this is the JDM light system. It mounts a little nicely up in through, watch your fingers, buddy. It comes out right here, out through the rear of the bike. Nice, clean, nothing to mess on the sides or damage as you walk by. Now, part of this system we have to put together are these lovely grommets. They come separate. There's a number of people on the forums and eBay. Someone on eBay nicely sells these. They are $15 to $20 for the set, and they go over the light into the plastic and stop the vibration and protect the light system. You know what's hilarious? It's the exact same battery box.
Yeah.
It's just this signal light is riveted in place. This mounting bracket's riveted in place here. Something I find is if you go to a junkyard and you find a mid-80s BMW, the German screwdriver, the 2-piece screwdriver, works really nice. The Phillips seems to be machined a little different than North American tools, and it fits a lot of German, Japanese, and other European so much better and so much easier. On the upside, I have a buttload, boxes and boxes full of lights. Over here.
Somewhere?
And over here. So what we found out is the 6-volt light from the North American light system is too long to fit into the JDM or Japan direct market light housing. As you can, you can't really see it. It's too tall. Let's go with that.
So if we can find some 6-volt LEDs, they're going to be shallower as well, and they'll work a lot better and be nice and bright.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Like a fun child.
I am a child. Covered is right about here, underneath where the paint's been lifting. There is a pinhole leak. You can't see the very well. You can't see there's some marks here, but what you can see is the paint around the whole area is lifted off because of petrochemical contamination. All right. As you can see, like I mentioned in one of the videos, it is had a hard life. There's a dent up top and there's scratches and stuff. We're going to get that repaired and nice. I'm looking at seeing if I can either 3M coat here to protect the from your knees and stuff, because you really have to tuck on this bike, even though in comparison to this bike, Rick and I look like pretty tall guys, but we're about 5.5 feet, so. Okay, I'm 5'6", and you're what, 5'6 1/4"?
5'7".
Oh, there it is.
There's the oil leak.
Okay.
Well, you got the funky exhaust now because it's coming off the wheel. It's running right down the frame.
Okay, so the clutch housing. Okay, we did drinking oil. We don't do that right now. Well, hey, look it. It's clean. It's a clean oil.
It's very clean.
It's good. So, another thing we've discovered is the clutch side of the engine case is leaking oil. It's leaking the clean oil and fresh oil I just put in, which is not a bad thing, because now we know what the oil's taking, so that's good. So we can solve that. That's we did notice a lot of garbage. You saw me pick it up off the table there from inside the all that. There's more than that inside the lower fairing, so that the oil is holding into the lower fairing, making a nice lovely disaster. So thank you for watching part 1 of this series. There'll be additional videos coming where we clean up the paint projects, show you the additional damage we've found, and additional disassembly we're going to do to repair such things as oil leaks. We still got to inspect the valve, the reed valve system and stays, and the air cleaner, and some repairs to the airbox. So thanks again for watching.